What they don't want you to know. This is NC Hammer Crypto. My name is Neil. Keeping technical analysis short and sweet as always. Starting with Bitcoin, it is more or less showing some support around this area, which we have placed from previous history. And it's pretty much maximized the typical retracement that we would want to see for Bitcoin. Looking at the RSI, completely oversold. Volume picked up exponentially here at this bottom point where we have this wick off. And we do want to start seeing some higher lows pushing into the CM guppy. Enough with that. Let's move on to XRP. Forming out the inverse head and shoulders, more or less, getting resistance off of this black trend line that has been placed for quite some time now. What you would consider this, if we see a continuation from this point, is a bear trap. It goes down, the bears think it's going to have a continuation, pulls back up. The bears start regretting their entry point, and we could see a continuation back up into this black trend line and some consolidation. The only real resistance that we have is this 200 EMA, which meets almost identically with the Fibonacci retracement here at the 0.618. So if we can get over that 200 EMA and most likely get some resistance, test this as support yet again, and then fill out that right shoulder, this would be considered a very nice inverse head and shoulders. And typically with that, we would start seeing that momentum up, breaking this black downward trend line, and start seeing the push back up to the previous high or previous all-time high being around $3.40. XRP, even though it is $2.16, and a lot of you may have missed your entry in at 50 cents, XRP is not going back to 50 cents, so you missed that opportunity. It's unfortunate for those of you who did not stack a bag prior. As for me, I'm not worried about anything for XRP, and I advise you to not be worried about it either, as this has one of the best utilities that I have seen for any cryptocurrency. It's got so much backing, it's beat many lawsuits. For example, XRP, the SEC wanted to charge them like 125, a ridiculous amount. I think it was like $2 billion for the lawsuit. And they said, F you, we're going to do it our way. And then they went to lawsuit again and suppressed price yet again way back here in time. And Ripple said, F you again. And then the SEC's like, you know what, can we just have like 125 million? We know we wanted $1 billion, but we'll take a like 99% decrease just because we're the SEC and we want some money. And we didn't get in whenever it was 50 cents. So give us 125 million. We'll end the lawsuits and you guys can create your company. This is the one coin that has been under suppression by the SEC, the federal government, for many, many years. And we will see its realization and its utility once we break over this previous all-time high. XRP, it's when it gets above this area around the $3.60 mark, it's price discovery. And for those of you who it's your first time, I'm going to leave a post to see where the people who watch my videos are at in their trading lives in general. So I can kind of get an idea of if this is your first time, if you've been in cryptocurrency for multiple years, if this is your first bull run, but you've been in cryptocurrency in the negatives for the past 4 years, XRP is going to be one of the best coins to be holding for the long term. I may be selling here at 5 and rebuying at 350, riding it up to 15, selling again, and then waiting the next couple of years to see what happens. Because in previous history, we have seen where it gets a massive peak. I guess it's not shown on this because this is Coinbase, but it gets a massive peak and then it draws downwards for many years. However, beating those SEC lawsuits and all those cases, if you have $2.17, I can promise you, it's not financial advice, but I can promise you, you're going to start seeing a $15 XRP minimum. $15 to $25, and then we might get a retrace. You may get the possibility in the next 3 years to get in at $3, but why do that when you can enter in at $2.17 right now? I don't know what else to tell you guys. You should be stacking a bag of XRP. For those of you who are in XCN or QNT or any of the other coins that I talk about, One of your biggest bags should be XRP because you can stake this coin in the near future, earn passive income off of money that is constantly increasing in price from $2 going to 15, and then you have that staked earning 2, 3, 20%, earning more XRP. It's a no-brainer. If you want to find a way to break free from the system, it's like buying Bitcoin back when it was $139. Buy, stake, hold your XRP. Do not get shaken out and ride this wave up because it's going to be beautiful. I promise you, this is going to be one of the best coins. Even though you look at the percentages and you're like, Neil, 56%, you can get that in a day on XCN. Yes, you can. But XRP is going to be the most stable. It's going to be the coin that's going to be utilized to do transactions. So definitely stack your bag. It's not too late. $2.17. So when this is back up at $3.50, $5, you can come back to this video and realize, hey, Neil was right. It's NEAL, not NEIL. Moving on to XLM. XLM in correlation with XCN. So if you're buying XCN and you're freaking out about the shakeout that has been happening for the past couple months, take a look at XCN because this is what you would be eyeballing to see what the potential for XCN will be. And isn't it beautiful when you can draw a channel, these two black lines that are moving downwards, and see that that is actually legitimate support and resistance for everybody else who's playing this game. My iPad is lagging out, so you can't see my pointer, which is very unfortunate. But looking down at the current price, we are entering into the CM Guppy. Come on, iPad, let's go. For those of you who are donating, 50% is going to save animals' lives, whether you give a sticker or transfer money. And I can promise you with my first payout, I need $100. I don't know how that other girl gets $7,000 a day doing this stuff or just making noises. But XLM, the payout that I get, I'm going to be buying new equipment, a microphone, and a new iPad. But first, 50% goes to saving animals' lives. My taxes can deal with the rest later. We moved into the CM Guppy right in the 50 where we got resistance here in the past. See how it's orange and red? And it got that resistance, pushed it down to the trend line. And now we are thinning out this CM Guppy. We tested it again back here. And once we can start entering into this red, we can expect for XLM to start moving in that upward momentum. Maybe we hit another low, but as long as we are building higher lows, we can see something like this. And then we have this 200 EMA right here that we need to break, which will be roughly right at this trend line. So if we can get over both of those, that's the only real resistance we have besides this 0.31 cents. When all this is broken, which can be coming here in the upcoming month, we can start seeing this push to 46 cents and beyond for XLM. And the interest in that, for those of you who are in XCN, you will see something similar happen with XCN. Moving on, if my iPad will allow me. ALCX, it did not hold above the 200 EMA, which is a little daunting. It's not the best. Let's go. ALCX, I mean, it's getting a head and shoulders pattern built up, which typically means we're going to start seeing a lower price target for ALCX. If I can ever show you the chart. This is just terrible. Donate, guys. I don't know. I could do what that girl on my previous video does where she just makes noises and try and gather a couple thousand so I can get this iPad and be able to show you this stuff a little bit better. But see, as you can clearly see, we are underneath the 200 EMA. Ideally, we want to be above that before looking for an entry for ALCX. For the person who is willing to donate some ALCX when it goes up, I pray that this goes up for you. But we are thinning out the CM Guppy a bit. We do need to see this pull up. RSI looks pretty healthy down here. We could see this tap this yellow line, maybe get a little resistance. But if we can get over that yellow line, we can expect this to start having some upward momentum. Keeping in mind, let's go back in time. The 618 is all the way up here at $20. We roughly tapped that earlier this month with immediate rejection. Tried again, hit the 0.5 at 17, got rejected. So what we could be doing is we could draw a line, but it's nothing set in stone. It's just to try and eyeball it. Could we hold, whoa, what is going on? This as support? Most likely not. We would most likely see a little bit lower low and maybe a little support off of this trend line that I just randomly placed in here. If it does pull up over this 200 EMA, you could expect maybe a little resistance at $12, maybe a little resistance at 13. But we are starting to build a base for ALCX, and we can see some very nice highs for ALCX in the maybe quarter two. Ideally, the real resistance is $22 and $29. It'll take a minute to get to that $29. But if you do get up to $22, you may expect some people to sell off, or you yourself could sell off for a scalp trade and have a potential re-entry here at $17 and then ride that wave up to 29, get a little resistance, have the opportunity to enter in back in at 22, and then have that push breaking 29 and hitting all-time highs. Granted, there is resistance at $40. For those of you who have seen my other video, I constantly recommend Tornado Cash. You can trade it on MEXC. The reference link in the description below gives you 20 USDT for free. And I always recommend using something that starts with a V to enter into MEXC. But you guys have had over 25 opportunities to enter in at $11. Going back in history, we see this is where I was originally begging you guys to enter here at $11. Even though it had that consolidation and resistance, that was broken, and we had that continuation to the upside. $11 is its stone. It's not going below $11. For those of you who have not entered, you have the opportunity here, but we may have a little bit of resistance, keeping that 200 EMA as healthy as possible before this thing slaps this into a new dimension. $15 is the resistance, and this black downward trend line as well, which is around $13.60. So here, roughly at $13, almost every trade I have entered into Tornado Cash is still in profit, and it's got a long way to go. So if you haven't entered, definitely take the time to use that reference link and enter yourself into Tornado Cash. Aaron, I am unsure what this glitch is for QNT, as there's just a random gap, and then there is the decrease in price going to $83. But just like the other coin I have talked about, XLM, following within the channel it's pretty impressive to watch, just drawing two trend lines and the rest of the market following suit. You can clearly see this channel has been an actual channel this entire time. And if you are unsure what I am talking about, we had the push up, we tested this created the channel. Then we had the push down, this created the channel. And just those 4 points have played out for the rest of this. This black line in the center is more or less the 50% mark, which created the center channel. We had the push down, tested that middle, pushed down, came up through, and then followed this channel still, came down, tested it, held support on the 50, pushed up, got rejected, tested this bottom area again, and I believe closed with a higher low. So with that closure of the higher low, it pushed this back up towards this channel. It's trying to get over this 200 EMA, so we may see a little bit of resistance here, but we want to see a nice slow consolidation over this 200 EMA before breaking up to the 618 around 110. If it can get above that, we're looking at a 121. And if you're not shaken out and just want to get your money and get out, I mean, it's understandable, but we are waiting for this push up to 149 or even the resistance here at 135. So QNT is looking very healthy. It's not game over for QNT yet. So just hold on tight. I know you are. and wait for the opportunity to diversify. And with diversification, I'm not just saying, okay, you got 2x, take it all out. I'm saying pull out maybe 20%. You can maybe re-enter at a lower price, or you can diversify, maybe buy some Tornado Cash before it takes off, stack a bigger bag of XCN, definitely if you don't have XRP, stack some XRP. None of this is financial advice. None of this is get rich quick. Just disclaimers I have to state, but XCN and XRP and QNT, everything is going to be going up here very soon. I believe December is whenever they have some important meetings that need to be placed out, and December 1st is when I think they're going to do basis point cuts. Good old pal. He'll say good morning, and we'll see it either go up or we'll see it go down. And that's the way the market goes. And lastly, Dash. Dash is starting to build downwards. It still has this trend line that needs to be broken. It's trying to build some support. It's holding above the 200 EMA. It could still retrace as low as $42. But look at the RSI. Can we cross over the yellow and see this break this downward trend line? That's a possibility. Keeping in mind around $70 to $77 is the previous fair value gap and the resistance, which is right above the downward trend line. Beyond that, you could see some resistance at 101 and 128. Beyond 128, Dash has a very long way to go. So $63 is not bad. Check out my store, donate, like, and subscribe. 50% goes to saving animals' lives. The other 50% to my taxes, I guess. And I haven't updated the site for Spreadshirt, so everything's really cheap right now. Good luck. Have fun with it. I will see you guys on the next one.